Okay. You're on. Do you want to start talking about it, or do you want to finish your notes?
I guess I'm done my notes. I can't, sorry, when
No, be sorry. By all means, get
Well-
jot it down as you need to.
I have to, it's hard to when you keep asking me if I need to do something while I'm actively writing. My brain doesn't
It's fine.
work
It's
that
no
well.
problem. Then you do what you're doing.
Okay. Dark, dark, dark. Nothing but just dark for a long time. And then waves of color. Waves of color. Like bars of color. Back and forth. But with blackness behind them. So then moons in against this blackness, and temples. There was a black temple against the white moon, and the white temple against the black moon, and there were entities moving from one to the next, but they were white figures moving from white temple and going into black, and only being visible when they get to the black temple, and the black temple figures moving into the white and only becoming visible when they're against the white temple, and they're moving back and forth, and they're invisible. They're like waves, and they're moving from one into another, falling and moving like waves. And then Bob is sitting in a temple, sort of in the middle, saying, the time is now. The time is now. 3 moons become one. Sands shift beneath your feet. The time is now. And that's what was going on in my head.
Well, that's important.
Yeah.
The time is now.
Time is now.
Nine. Time is
3
nine.
moons become one.
3 moons become one.
Yeah. 3 moons become one. Sands shift beneath your feet.
Interesting. I'm thinking what I had.
Yeah. So
That's it.
that's
it.
That's yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Says your time is now.
Your time is now.
So the time is
The
now.
time.
Your time is now.
Okay, both.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that sounds heavy.
Yeah.
My own experience was it was dark, and I was in some different place, but basically, oh God, I was like meditating in my meditation, and there was this moonlight reflecting off still water, and I was tapped it to create these, you could say, like waves, little vibrations, and then the moonlight would go with the waves.
Mm-hmm.
Blur
Black and white. That's
black and
how.
white waves.
Yeah.
But that was from on water. Mm-hmm. So black and white waves it would be. Mm-hmm. The moonlight reflecting in the dark on the water. It seemed to take a heck of a while to kind of get to that point, but basically I saw myself sort of meditating or sitting still in the darkness, and then I was sitting still in the darkness by this pond or lake, and I was sitting still in the darkness. I was myself, then I was this other guide being I have sometimes, and then I'm not sure how it transitioned, but it was like it was like I was guided to go somewhere else, and I was in the desert, and it was like I was a lone, like, travel rider in the desert, like on a horse, and like Arabian or Sahara Desert. It's just like nothing, but and then kind of over this hill, over this dune, and there's like this oasis in the dark, in the moonlight, but you can see that it's just sand everywhere, but there's this little lush, so I'm riding to the oasis. And I get to this oasis, and it's all kind of dark, but there's a pool, and there's other people, and there was a feeling of being welcomed. There was like libations, there was food being shared, then there was a big fire, and there was music, and I think there was a female figure dancing, and I had some things. I took off my horse, and I think I just kind of cozied up by the pond and by the fire, and I had some stuff I was looking after. I just remember that it was kind of making sure things were wrapped up, and kind of took with me to where I slept, and that was it. And then I went rested.
Wow.
So yeah, it was this whole little like I guess I'll have to really jot this down later, and I'll kind of try to peel off some layers of meaning there, but mostly it was just this, who knows, past life memory of being a lone rider and going to the oasis in the moonlight, and there were others there, but I didn't like recognize any of them, and it was but there was a feeling of generally kind of, we're all cooperation or trust. It's not like there was any more aggressive feelings. It was all just kind of,
well, there you go
together
then.
at the oasis, finding some peace and water, and
Cool.
yeah, that's what I got.
Well, that's something too.
Mm-hmm. About that one.
Mm-hmm. I think about mine.
We got stuff to think about.
We got stuff to think about. Hope you guys do too.
Hope you've got something to think about too, because
that's all we got for
that's
tonight.
what we got for tonight.
And we're baffled.
Pardon me, like a little bit baffled. But that's the fun of it, and we're going to try to be back next week, Tuesday, with the sun around.